Some days, you wake up and you feel like you need something more. I'd been feeling lost for a couple of days and needed to clear my mind. So this weekend, I decided to run away to New York City, hoping that in its noise, I might find my quiet. And of course, have the classic New York experience. So come with me as I explore New York and find out what I learned along the way. I start my day at the Oculus, a place that looks almost futuristic, like a cathedral of movement. Its striking architecture is meant to symbolize a dove taking flight, a beacon of hope and rebirth after 9/11. Standing under its towering arches, you can't help but feel small, but in a good way, like you're part of something bigger. Beneath its arches, life rushes past, but somehow I feel like I'm floating through it. There's something oddly peaceful about being surrounded by so many people, all heading somewhere while I take my time to just be. One of the perks of leisurely traveling. As I wander through the streets of New York, I find that one of my favorite pastimes is simply walking, observing the architecture and the art that breathes life into the city. Every step reveals a new layer of beauty, a hidden gem waiting to be discovered. We just left the World Trade Center and we are going towards Financial District. Our first destination is the Stone Street. It's a really pretty cobbled street. We plan to visit there and we'll see how it goes. Making my way from World Trade Center to Wall Street, it feels larger than life, especially as I walk along its historic cobblestones. On weekends, it's a different scene, more tourists than the usual business crowd. Passing the fearless girl, standing defiantly against the towering building and all they represent, I can't help but admire her courage. She embodies a spirit of resilience, challenging the status quo in the city that thrives on competition. I find Wall Street weirdly nostalgic. It's a place I've seen countless times on the screen, featured in movies like Wolf of Wall Street, Margin Calls, Inside Jobs, and so many others. These movies tend to capture the frantic energy of the financial world, but as I walk through the streets here, it doesn't seem that bad. Well, maybe I was wrong. There's the Bull, with a long line of people waiting to take photos, especially touching the infamous lucky spot, the bronze balls of the bull, worn shiny by countless hands. Maybe just like the fearless girl, we all need a bit of courage to face whatever challenges lie ahead, even if a little luck helps too. Today was an open day in Manhattan. With no cars allowed, the streets invite the pedestrians and cyclists to explore. It's a rare chance to wander freely, taking in the architecture and street art without the usual hustle. The next place I'm visiting is a place you might have seen in many New York based movies, but you would still not recognize. Cortlandt Alley feels like one of those places where you can disappear for a while. No tourists, no noise, just you and your thoughts. It's one of New York's hidden corners, often overlooked but familiar if you've ever watched movies like Joker or Birdman. This narrow alley, with its gritty, worn-down walls and shadowy vibes, have starred in so many films because it captures a raw, unfiltered truth about the city. Here, you can feel the character of New York in its imperfections, the kind of beauty that doesn't need to be polished or perfect to stand out. Not far from here is Little Italy, where the pace slows down. People linger over meals, laugh with friends, and savor the little moments. It's not just Italian culture here. You can feel the echoes of French history too, with French language signs and menus scattered throughout the neighborhood, a nod to its immigrant past. I stumbled upon a charming Christmas shop open year-round. It feels like stepping into another world where the hustle and bustle of the city fades away. Twinkling lights illuminate every corner, casting a warm, inviting glow over festive ornaments that fill the shelves. From hand-painted baubles to whimsical figurines, each ornament tells a story, evoking memories of holidays past. The scent of pine and cinnamon lingers in the air, wrapping around me like a cozy blanket, transporting me to a snowy winter night. This place captures the spirit of joy and nostalgia, reminding me that the magic of Christmas isn't confined to December. Here, the spirit of giving and celebration thrives year round. Chinatown always feels like a different world within the city. The energy is palpable. Here, I feel alive in a way I cannot explain. Maybe it's the smells, the colors, the rush of it all. Or maybe it's because in this chaos, I feel like I'm part of something bigger. As I walk from the vibrant, bustling streets of Chinatown into SoHo, I can feel the vibe shift around me. The energy changes, and so do people. The crowded markets and the street vendors give way to sleek storefronts and art galleries. SoHo is where the city's creativity comes alive. Every corner feels like a canvas, from the cobblestone streets to the murals decorating old industrial buildings. This place is a reminder that sometimes finding yourself isn't about escaping, it's about letting the city shape you, one neighborhood at a time. From Soho, I make my way to West Village, where every street feels like a postcard from a different time. I take a moment to sit in a small park surrounded by soft rustles of leaf and the gentle chatter of friends enjoying the day. The beauty of this neighborhood is mesmerizing. The trees lined street, the historic architecture, and the vibrant flowers all blend together to create a scenic atmosphere. Sitting here, I'm reminded of how important it is to pause and appreciate the little things. The laughter of children playing nearby, the scent of fresh coffee wafting through the air. It's a slice of tranquility amidst the urban energy, a reminder that beauty can be found even in the most bustling of places. Then I stumble upon Little Island, this floating park that feels like a little oasis in the middle of the city. With its lush greenery and whimsical architecture, it beckons visitors to explore its winding paths and open spaces. But on a warm summer weekend, it's anything but quiet. The crowds gather quickly, and it can feel a little overwhelming as everyone jostles for a spot to take in the view or relax on the lawns. If you can find a quiet corner, perhaps under the shade of a large tree or by the water's edge, it really does feel like your own island of peace. Here, you can escape the noise of the city, if only for a moment, and reconnect with myself amidst the beauty of it all. Right beside the little island is Pier 54, known for the Google office and its food court. It's the perfect place to end your day. Up on the terrace, a lesser known spot, you can soak in the sun and take in the perfect view of Little Island just across the water. After grabbing a bite from one of the food spots downstairs, I find myself here, watching the boats drift by, the city slowing down for a moment. It's quiet, peaceful, and as the sun dips below the horizon, I realize something. I didn't run away to find answers. I ran away to remind myself that sometimes it's okay to just be lost, because in the end, maybe that's how we find ourselves. Sometimes you don't need to run far to find what you're looking for. Sometimes you just need a day in New York. As the bite-sized traveler, I've learned that each experience, no matter how small, adds a unique flavor to the adventure. If you enjoyed this journey with me, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Join me as I explore more hidden gems and stories around the world. Together, let's uncover the beauty of travel, one bite-sized adventure at a time.